What's up, guys? YGO Strats. Huge news just came out yesterday, or as of the making this video yesterday. It might be 2 days ago when I actually put this video out finally, but we've had a adjustment list starting February 8th, so this coming Monday. This is basically an emergency ban list is what this is. They've done an adjustment to the ban list for competitive games, meaning that any YCS, Regional Qualifier, Upper Deck Series Qualifier, and International events all will be playing with this quote-unquote list. They have said that this is not the official list, so these hits might not be finalized hits when they do the rest of the ban list in a month or two, is what they're saying here. But until they come out with another list, this is official in all competitive tournaments. And this is the banning of Plushfire and Damage Juggler, as well as Tellarknight Ptolemaeus, and the limiting of Skull Crobat Joker, Monkey Board, and Luster Pendulum. So this is a huge hit to Pepe, which is obviously the best deck in the format right now. Or it was. It will be for this weekend, and then after that it's done, because they've lost 12 cards from their main deck with these hits, and 1 card from the extra deck, and with that 1 card they technically lost 2, because if they don't have Ptolemaeus, they can't go into Infinity. So this has done a shit ton of things to the secondary market, let alone the metagame. The secondary market, I think Pendulum Sorcerer is down to 30-ish, Cyber Dragon Infinity is down to that 25-ish area, and I can see Cyber Dragon Infinity just dropping completely, because without Ptolemaeus, they can't make it. No rank 4 deck can make it, it's not a threat. So, it'll still be a threat for anyone who's, playing Dino Mist, or, they can make it in Cosmo, and they can make it in Deskbot, so it's still going to be a bitch if you're facing that deck, but in terms of the main deck and any rank 4 spam, not as much of an issue. It is interesting to see that they went this route, and they went so harshly down this route, because this is more or less what the OCG has, and then some, because the OCG banned Plushfire and Damage Juggler, and they also already had Ptolemaeus banned, so that aspect of the game was dead in the OCG. And we're copying that, which I kind of saw coming. I could maybe see Damage Juggler staying at 1 if they were going to be kinder, but ultimately, this doesn't surprise me that it's banned. What does, quote-unquote, surprise me is that Skull Crobat Joker, Monkey Board, and Luster Pendulum all got hit, because I was going to make a video predicting what I thought would get hit next month, and I would say Skull Crobat Joker and Luster Pendulum I can see taking a hit, not necessarily because they deserve it relative to Pepe, but because if you slaughter Pepe like this, then something's going to come in and fill those reins, and, Odd Eyes Magician is definitely a very powerful deck, especially if they're going to be running annoying things like Apex Avian and that nonsense. And Skull Crobat allows them to search out stuff like no problem, it searches out the Odd Eyes things. And actually, more importantly, and I think the reason why they ultimately did these hits, is because if you look at the OCG's topping decks, it's a lot of Performapal Draco Slayer, or at the very least in all the big events, because, if you go down, you'll see, like, Super Quantum placed first at event of 6 players, which is like, kudos to you, but there was only 5 other players, and if none of them were playing the deck, if it was more casual, then it's not really impressive, as opposed to if Super Quantum had come in first place against 104 other players. That would be very impressive. But if you look at the big events, 50 players, Performapal Draco Slayer, all over the place, but that's why I see it happening. And if you look at the deck lists for what Performapal Draco Slayer is, it's Pepe without the Performages. That's honestly all it is. You have the 3 Lusters. He's running Reactor because that comes out in Shining Victory, which will be on May 6th, I believe. But if you look at it, it runs 3 Monkey Board, 3 Pendulum Wizard, and 3 Skull Crobat Joker. So the deck stays alive because it's so good at searching, and it's so good at, getting what it needs to pull off its wombo combos, and it's so easy to set up scales with something like Monkey Board, because you can just normal Skull Crobat and then, search Monkey Board, play Monkey Board, add a good Turtle or a Lizard draw, and, you've got, like, full scales, and it's stupid. But this deck is obviously very powerful in the OCG. It's just Pepe slightly neutered without the Performage's consistency, and I can see why they'd hit it in the OCG, if only to, stop that from happening. Because if they want this deck dead, if they really don't want people playing, Pepe, then they're going to be like, don't fucking play Pepe by our Monarch nonsense. And so that's more or less why I see that happening. And then, as I was saying earlier, I can see Skull Crobat getting hit, if only to stop Odd-Eyes Magician if they want to do a more balanced hitting of things. And Luster Pendulum I saw happening just because he's generic support. He's Rhoda-esque in terms of Pendulum, but for any Pendulum. And I know, Rhoda's play a card and deck him by 1, no problem. Draco Slayer, or Luster Pendulum has to have another Pendulum in the scale, and then pop it, and then do whatever, so you can, chain things to it or whatever. It's not a perfect 1-for-1 comparable to Rhoda, but it does thin the deck for you, and it's so splashable in every Pendulum deck. Kinda tamed with solid scale. I mean, the scale 5 lets you pull out 4s no matter what, and that's meta. But, if it was scale 4, it'd be a much, worse card in that sense. But it's not. It's super good. It's in so many decks, so many Pendulum decks anyways, because it can be, and it summons such a strong Synchro monster with it that it's not a problem. And, being level 4 makes it just so easy to go into Ignister, and then with any other level 4 you've got that you're running for your rank 4 nonsense. But I can see Luster Pendulum being hit because it is a damn powerful card, and it is what it is, but I didn't think they'd do it quite so soon. Obviously, this isn't finalized. This could be very different when they come out with an actual ban list. They might hit some other stuff, like, they might hit Cosmo in some way. They might say, Farm Girl to 2, where they might be like Dark Destroyer to 2, or something like that. They might hit Cosmo or another topping deck. They might decide that they don't want people playing Mermail because, they sold their Neptibus from it, and now they don't want people buying a Megalos off the secondary market for it, so they're gonna just slap, not Neptibus, but, Dragoons back down or something stupid. You never know, but I didn't quite think they'd hit it so soon. Anyways, where I was going with that, they might end up just settling with Damage Juggler at 1, Skull Crobat at 2, something like that. They might not go with this severe of a hitting of Pepe / Odd-Eyes Magician / arguably Magispector or something like that would use Draco Slayers, but the fact of the matter is, until then, this is what's in effect. And so for the next month or 2 until they release a official ban list, it's hard to say exactly what's going to be a top deck. The top 4 decks that come to my mind overall will be Odd-Eyes Magician, Cosmo, Monarch, and maybe Mermail Atlantean, if not just another version of Performage, Draco Slayer nonsense, because, they still have Pendulum Wizard at 3, and if they just throw Aerodane into the deck, then they can search out counter traps and stop you from playing the game entirely, which is, a pain in the ass to deal with. So that could be a topping deck still. Rank 4, triple notice, warning, all that fun stuff that you hate to deal with could still be topping events sometime soon in the next coming months, but that's more or less it. The other thing that this has done has slaughtered the secondary market. I don't know if I said this already, but Cyber Dragon Infinity is down to $25, Pendulum Sorcerer is down to $30, and Dark Destroyer is up to $200, so I will still not be playing Cosmo anytime soon. That's very aggravating, but it is what it is. So go ahead, leave a comment in the comment section on what you think about Konami's slaughtering of Pepe. They definitely are sticking to absolutely murdering decks like they showed us in November. Whether or not that's good or bad is up to you. I know a lot of people hate Pepe, but whatever. So leave me a comment. Tell me what you think about all the hits, limits, and format changing. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time on YGO Strats.